Hey guys, it's Christian, your Vancouver Realtor, and the topic for today's video is how not to get a mortgage. Okay, so here, biggest mistake people ever do in the resale market is they walk into a bank and they get a mortgage, try to get one through their financial advisor or their mutual fund rep. That's like going to the cashier at Safeway to try and have them do your mortgage. It's the same thing. It really doesn't end well. And I've seen clients do this. Often they are new to buying, or they may, they just lack the sophistication. And so we talk about that, and I kind of explain the differences. If you were going for, let's say, some knee surgery, you'd go to a doctor. You wouldn't go to a dentist for something like that. And so that's the analogy I really want you to sort of take away. Now, I think what happens is why people do this is they think, oh, there's the bank. It's at, Nanaimo and First or wherever it is, and they just walk in and they think bank, loans, mortgage. It's generally speaking, you're going to get the best service and results from mobile mortgage specialists and independent brokers. These guys are roving. They take your calls late at night after 9 o'clock. They're commission based, so they really want to help you. And generally, they can explain their mortgage products really, really well, which is what you want. So now, what the branches do at the retail level is they may throw out some cookies like, hey, here's a $2,000 cash back if you walk in and get a mortgage with us. It sounds good. It just seems to always end with a lot of trouble. So we had clients recently go in to the branch and try and get a mortgage at the branch level with someone who's a mutual fund advisor. And so, first thing happens, we send all the documents, and of course, I don't get a response. Next day, I call, I find out this person's on holidays for a couple of days. And that was a good response. I've called and gotten responses where they say, oh, that person's gone. They're up snowboarding on Grouse Mountain. I'm like, well, my client's only got 3 days to get this thing purchased and confirmed. What's he doing up on Grouse? Get him off Grouse and get him back down here. Anyway, so my clients go in, they're at the branch level. The branch makes a whole bunch of promises. It all sounds good. And then, of course, here we are. We're coming up to subject removal, where we have to, that's our deadline. We've got to get the conditions removed. And I inquire again with the mutual fund person, and she says, oh, yeah, you're good to go. I said, okay. And so the client then has their financing approved. She says, yes, wonderful. Well, we approve, we remove the conditions. A couple of days later, I get an email from her saying, okay, we've ordered the appraisal. Order the appraisal. Oh my God, that's got to happen before subjects get removed. So it just tells me right off the bat, they don't have their ducks in a row. They don't understand the basics of the mortgage process. That's why I tell you, going to a mutual fund person or a financial advisor is kind of like going to the cashier at the Safeway and asking them to do your mortgage. It's very similar. So now they've got to do the appraisal. Why? Why is this a really bad thing? Imagine if the appraisal came in $50,000 lower than the contract price. All of a sudden, my client's got to find $50,000 from somewhere. By that time, we're already committed. We have removed the conditions. There's no backing out at that point. You lose your bank draft, your deposit. So just a bizarre situation. That's why I highly recommend that you go to a mutual. You don't do that. You go to a mobile mortgage specialist. The bank has their own people who specialize in it, or you go and talk to an independent mortgage broker, who I find they tend to be even better, because if they get really good, they step out of the bank and then they become their own entity. Okay, so that's one example. And a couple other reasons why it really helps to work with someone who's commission-based, a real mortgage broker is that if we find ourselves in a multiple offer situation, which we had recently about several weeks ago, we needed to, this was on a Friday night around 7:30. We really wanted to get a broker on the phone just to ask a couple of quick questions to see whether or not we could remove that financing condition. And of course, in this instance, unfortunately, my client had gone to the bank, and those people you couldn't reach them anymore. They're gone, right? A lot of these people, they work 9 to 4, and like 4 o'clock rolls around, they're straight out the door, right? Their jacket's on at 3:59. So I'm telling you, this is not how to get a mortgage. Of course, we couldn't reach the person, and unfortunately, we had to go in with that condition, and of course, we lost the property because of it, because we were not able to get a broker on the phone and ask a few questions. Now, rewind back to the fall of 2021. I had a similar situation. It was a very late Thursday night. Again, the client earlier that day had been in to talk to somebody at the branch level. Everything was hunky-dory, and all of a sudden, here we are Thursday night, find the property, we love it, gotta make an offer right away, or it's gone. So, can't get anybody on the phone, obviously, at 8:30 on a Thursday night. We called a broker with that bank, and she was phenomenal. Basically gets all the answers that we needed. We were able to get a shortened, I think it was a 2 or 3 day financing condition, and we were able to, boom, we got the property just like that. Beautiful property. It's already gone up almost $100,000 in value. And that was a lot of that. Credit has to go to that bank's broker who took my call at 8:30 on a Thursday night, basically helped my client. And then, of course, the next day, the branch level the people at the branch got into a fight with the brokers, saying you're trying to poach our client. It just got into a big mess. Anyway, my client ended up going with a completely different bank. She still got the property. She's fine. The point is, it just seems like you run into too many thorny issues, or just bungling, incompetence when you're going through the branch level. So don't do that to yourself. Talk to a mobile mortgage specialist. Talk to an independent broker. Turnaround times are better. The expertise is there, the service level, and ultimately the results. And I always say to my clients, we are going to work as a team on this, and we're going to bring the mortgage broker in to our team, because occasionally we're going to have to get answers from them, right? I'm going to share the strata documents with them in case they need to see those. So if you've got any comments, questions, leave those below. Give us a subscribe or a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.